Up until about a week ago, I thought there was going to be at least a little bit of competition here in the US between the Pixel 6a and the new Nothing phone from Carl Pei and the Nothing guys, the Nothing One. And, well, it seems like since it's not coming here to the US, that might be a different story. However, internationally, this could still be a thing because the Pixel 6a is going to be launching in a lot of markets overseas. We're talking Germany, India, Singapore, Ireland, lots of different places. So even though the Nothing phone is not dropping here in the States, for those of you who are Pixel fans or who are now Nothing fans looking forward to this phone, is this something that you should consider or even look at? And that's going to be a difficult question to answer at this time, largely based on price. But in the United States, I think clear winner here because it's going to be difficult to try and get a Nothing phone. One, because probably limited supply when they first come out, the way they're doing the pre-orders, and then, of course, getting one over here, and then how well is it going to be compatible with U.S. carriers and networks and phones like that? Because, especially on AT&T, not going to be a supported phone. It's not going to be on their list of supported phones. But the Pixel 6a, of course, I'm pretty sure is. I would imagine it's going to AT&T. So taking a look at the Pixel 6a, I think it's targeted at a different demographic than what the Nothing phone is to begin with. So the bread and butter when it comes to Google Pixel phones is always the camera and the software, which of course we're talking about all the updates and the software and the services and the cool Google things that Google does with their phone, like the translator and also the call screening assistant, all those wonderful things that make a Pixel phone and not just a standard Android, regular everyday Android fare. Well, the Nothing phone, of course, is going to compete with their own software. They've got their own launcher, their own skin, all those things, and then they've got the whole light setup on the back, which is a very interesting proposition because we're talking about 900 LED lights that make that little crop circle looking ring with some lines on the back. Looks like something off of Space Invaders missing like a ship leg or something. I don't know. But I think that one of these is kind of geared towards okay, I'm a Google fan, but I don't want to pay flagship prices. I want the Google camera experience, but I don't necessarily need the top of the line Google camera experience. I'm happy with what's out there. And of course, you're still going to get 3 years operating system updates, 5-year of security patch updates. And the screen is a little bit smaller. Not everybody wants a 6.4 or 6.7 inch screen on their phone. And granted, you're going to get a pretty good sized phone on the Nothing phone, which also I think is another reason for it to compete over there. You look at the Pixel 6a, it's got a 6.1 inch screen, going to be 60 hertz, nothing too flashy there. It is going to be an OLED, which is nice. Under the screen fingerprint sensor, it's a new sensor. It should be a better experience than what you've got with the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. A lot of people weren't too crazy, though, about the 6 and the 6 Pro when they came out because it was a fundamental shift. You don't have a significantly smaller model, especially with the A. We're looking at the phone sizes we had before, especially with like a 5.8 inch screen. Well, now we're looking at a 6.1 or 6.4 or 6.7. And conversely, on the Nothing Phone 1, we're looking at about a 6.5 inch screen, but also they are 120 hertz. And you're getting a 50 megapixel camera on the back. So they're both going to have two cameras on the back. On the back of the Pixel 6a, we're looking at a dual 12 megapixel setup, the 12 megapixel primary, which is the traditional shooter we've had in the Pixel for the last few years, not that 50 megapixel in the 6 and 6 Pro. Kind of a differentiator there, but also $450. So good price tag there, I think, for the phone. I wish it was going to be $399, but I think with the way they made the phone more premium, the Tensor chip, they wanted to up the price on that a little bit. Also, when it comes to the Nothing phone, we're looking on the backside, 50 megapixel primary shooter, 16 megapixel ultra wide. It'll be interesting to see what kind of story these megapixels carry because megapixels aren't everything. So if just for a kind of an understanding of megapixels, when it comes to taking a photo, are how many pixels you can jam into the photo itself. So it doesn't necessarily mean higher quality. It doesn't necessarily mean a better looking picture. It just means that you're going to get more pixel density. So let's say if you're looking at either one on a 6-inch screen, the density and the resolution is mostly going to be very comparable. But when you blow it up larger, let's say you want to print something out, do a photo album, go out and get some pictures printed. When you have a 50 megapixel camera, you can blow something up to like 18 by 20, for instance. Not sure the exact size, but you can blow it up much larger and it's still going to look normal. It's not going to get pixely and grainy. Whereas with the 12 megapixel, once you get to about 8 by 10 territory, it's going to start getting more pixelated. And those are just illustrations, not exact conversions. So that's kind of the benefit there. A lot of times you'll get people that are like, oh, it's got this super high megapixel camera as a selling point. And traditionally, you can kind of associate that with better better than probably an 8 megapixel or a 5 megapixel, but a 12 megapixel camera from Google does some pretty darn amazing things. So we'll have to see what the real world test looks like once this comes out. Now, there's not been an official price release for the Nothing phone yet. What I'm seeing, though, rumored, though, is about $400, $397, right around $400 converted to US. I think that's probably going to be pretty fair, especially where it's kind of marketing itself. This seems like more of a premium tier, especially coming over from Carl Pei, who is the co-founder of OnePlus. Brings some prestige, brings some kind of buzz and enthusiasm to the phone scene as opposed to maybe a Poco or a Redmi or a Xiaomi. It's something different, off the beaten path. We thought we were going to get it here in the US. Sadly, we're not going to. I was hoping it was going to launch here. Really not happy with the way that it was kind of pushed out there the whole time. I think what happened was, as it came down to go time and getting carrier certification, AT&T wants at least like $1 million just for your phone to be certified to work on their network. And being a startup, $1 million is a lot of money when it comes to phones. So they probably prioritized this and said, look, we're going to put our eggs all in this basket. We're going to launch internationally, see how it goes. If you want to get an unlocked one, you can still use it over here with T-Mobile, Metro by T-Mobile, Mint Mobile, possibly AT&T. Doubtful though. Their whole mantra has been, okay, only phones we allow on our network. But I've been seeing some phones that will work on the network LTE, but not 5G. So maybe a fringe possibility there, and maybe even Verizon, if you've already got an activated SIM, can put it in there. That seems to be a popular thing lately because they're not reliant on a CDMA network for their phone calls anymore. I believe it's GSM back. So we'll see how that goes. The Pixel 6a should be widely available on carriers here in the States. $449. I'm sure there's going to be good pricing, good carrier incentives, good trade-ins, and things like that to get them in your pockets. Google seems very, very intent on getting this phone pushed out to as many people as possible, and I think that's good. Part of their big global strategy to try and take things to the next level. So they've hit it out of the tee box, and with their swing, they're kind of accelerating through with the follow-through, and that's where this is going now. So it's going to be interesting because there are some similarities, but I think the demographic, as I said earlier, is a little bit different. I think that this new Nothing Phone 1 is going to be more geared towards trendy, younger audiences, 120 hertz refresh rate, flashy, especially with all those LED lights on the back. They're going to be in sync with the ringtones on there. Also for notifications, there's different things you can do. And for me, coming from a BlackBerry heritage, I always loved that little red dot that popped up, the LED indicator. So now the whole back of the phone is basically an LED indicator. Common sense would tell you, though, this is not going to be probably as amazing as you would expect because most people put cases on their phones. So unless you get a clear case or unless they provide a case with it, which I'm unsure of, what are you going to do? How are you going to observe those lights on the back and protect your phone at the same time? It does look kind of neat. I like the transparent look where you can kind of see through the inner workings. I think they've definitely put some money in the design. If you look at a lot of phones coming out of the Chinese and Asian market, they're kind of bland on the back. They have big camera modules and they're kind of bland on the back. One color, maybe you get a big Poco branding on the Poco camera bar on the back. So this takes, I think, a little bit of an American perspective and puts it on essentially, I guess it's a Chinese phone. It's probably coming out of that market. But interesting design. I think it probably would have appealed to a lot of younger audiences here in the US, which I really think is what they're shooting for. Whereas I think the Pixel 6 has a little bit more pedigree and prestige because of the Google name, and people like that. People like the security of Google. They like the familiarity of Google. You're going to get a lot more traditional phone users, people who are older, people who are less inclined to take risks on a new brand that would probably be interested in it. Plus $449 looks like a pretty good deal on paper, whatever you look at what you're getting for the phone. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think internationally, I'm really going to keep an eye on this and see how they compete because this is the first time the Pixel 6a is getting into a lot of these markets, especially into India. Been over 2 years. I think it's probably going to be received well there. But I think also the Nothing Phone has a good chance over there too because India is probably the last biggest emerging market because we got basically saturation in Europe, saturation in the US, Canada, Mexico, even in China now. They've got so many of their own phones. So I'm curious to see what happens here. I hope the best for the Nothing Phone 1. I really am. Some people thought that my last video about the Nothing Phone was a little negative. My negative comments are really more towards the marketing and the way this phone has been kind of held out there, what it was supposed to be, where it was going to be. And I think that maybe they didn't get as much money as they wanted, or they didn't want to spend as much to get it into the carrier markets here, which the carrier markets that's what phones live or die by in the United States. Carrier support, carrier influencing, that being able to walk in and get one off the shelf is a big thing. So that's probably what it was. We'll see how it goes. I'm curious to see how it does. I think probably if it's a success, and they're already saying the pre-orders I think are over 100 something thousand. So I think there's plenty of buzz there. I'm going to try and get my hands on one later so I can do some side-by-side comparison stuff. But again, we do also have a little bit more of a flagship experience when the core processor of the Pixel 6a is a Tensor chip versus the 778 Plus, which is what we're supposed to be looking at with the Nothing phone. So there are some direct comparisons. There's also some areas where I think each one kind of is accelerates. For me personally, I love that higher refresh rate. The 120 hertz refresh rate really catches my attention with the big screen, as opposed to the 60 hertz on a 6.1 inch screen with the Pixel 6a. But that camera is going to win a lot of people over. Also, the legacy, the support, versus the promise of a new startup. You never know what you're going to get. So that's kind of my pros and cons and discussion between the two phones. I would have liked to seen it here in the US market for a lot more direct comparison, but we're just going to have to see how it goes. Maybe later in the year, maybe they'll do another run and they'll launch some here. Maybe we'll be able to get them off of Amazon or something. I don't know. A lot of that stuff happens. If you look at the Unihertz phones, even with the Titan and I think like the Titan Pocket, it initially launched Kickstarter phone, and then after a couple of months, you could pick one up off of Amazon. So I would like to see something like that happen. And as long as we have good network compatibility, I think it's probably going to be a solid experience. So we'll see what happens. I think it's supposed to launch, I think, on July the 16th, if I'm not mistaken. And then the Pixel 6a launches officially for pre-order and sales on the 21st and start shipping. You can get it in the stores on the 28th. Very, very close in time. We'll see what happens. So that's all I got. Which one? Are you excited about either one more than the other? Were you looking forward to getting the Nothing phone one, and now you're upset you can't get it in the States? Or are you 100% Team Pixel going to go get a 6A the day it comes out? Tell me. We'll talk about it in the comments. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please go down in the comment section. I will get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.